Ooh.
All right, we're live again. Hello.
Another
I-
Tuesday. We're
Another
moving
Tuesday.
right along. And you know what? There's not much time left in December. It's like, oh my gosh. And everybody's starting to make their plans for 2021. And it's like, oh my gosh, what are those plans going to be? Because we think about last year, we had plans for 220, but we had no, it's funny when we were seeing what was going on in China, we had no idea that it was going to be our reality in the next few months. And
I know, and it's like one of those where we're like, oh, it's not our problem until it's your
yeah,
problem.
yeah,
And
well,
it's like,
it's kind of like there's hurricanes and tornadoes, and you say, "Oh, I'm so sorry for them," but like my life goes on as normal. We had no clue what was going to happen to us. And of
exactly.
course, so now from what, say, March until now, it's our lives have been turned upside down in the United States and across the globe. Every country has been hit by this. Every business owner has been hit by this. I think I heard the other day that in Granada, Spain, that 30% of the businesses will not come back after
Wow.
the virus
Wow.
is made its, flown out the door. 30%, that is absolutely huge. And you think about all those business owners and their employees that will be scrounging around looking for something new. So
Exactly.
without all the doom and gloom, I think it's really important for us to be focusing, all of us to be focusing on 2021. And now we do know what the reality is. So we are prepared because, 2021 is probably not going to look too much different than 2020, because even with a vaccine, it's not going to be, we're not going to get the herd immunities until probably next fall. So everybody has to be thinking that we're still going to live in a virtual world. We're still going to be doing Zooms or Google Meetups or wearing masks when you go out, and the normal conferences and things that we are used to are just not going to be happening in 2021. So the thing is, how do you stay relevant? How do you get yourself out there? What do you have to do to make sure that your business is going to thrive and survive for 2021?
Exactly. And one of the things that I've been hitting home on to everyone that everybody's getting sick of me now, but I keep saying the same thing. This is the year that you have to embrace video. If you have ever, we all said 2020 was going to be the year of video. Well, it actually ended up being true because it was, because with the COVID,
Right.
we had to do video, and video is Zoom. It's not just doing a video recording. It's Zoom. It's these live events. All of these kind of live streams, these are all a form of video, which means turning on the camera and getting comfortable in front of the camera, learning the tech that you need to do with it, and getting out there on video, because right now we're not going to be meeting people in person. We have to continue to do video so that people can get to know, like, and trust us. And on something like LinkedIn, you've got to be doing it in the news feed. You've got to be doing it in your direct messages. You got to get it on your profile, on your company page. If you're on YouTube, everybody should be on YouTube at this point, because anybody who's in business should have a YouTube channel. It is just so important because it really gets you up there with a Google search. So again, you want to be doing videos for YouTube. And by the way, the videos you do for social media and the videos you do for YouTube are totally different. And actually, we should make a point to do a whole live just about what's the difference, with those two types of videos.
I think that's a good idea, because sometimes people think they should do little short ones on YouTube and long ones on social media, and it's actually the reverse. But the other thing too is I've noticed back this year that a lot of people did video, but they weren't really doing it correctly. So I think, we're not going to cover that today, but I think it would be really good for us to have a session where we do cover the do's and the don'ts of video. What programs you can use, and how to overcome maybe some of your fears of video. And I know you've done some videos for LinkedIn where you actually talked about getting over yourself, and what are the alternatives if you just, at the end of the day, just or too shy or just reluctant to share yourself, there are other options. And so we could cover those things at another time. We're doing a marketing video this Thursday. It's going to be 3 hours. And it's like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
workshop.
a workshop. And, maybe that's something that, we do bite-sized pieces of that in this LinkedIn Live and, share that. And of course, we've got a bunch of video tutorials on our YouTube channel. And, and we are a great example of, we just celebrated 75,000 views of our
It's amazing.
75,000. It was like somebody said to me, "Oh, you don't know how to do videos." I said, "Well, we've had 75,000 views. That's not terrible."
No. And it's kind of fun that there's even tools that send you messages that say, hey, thumbs up. You've had a lot of, it's like, I don't sit there tracking the stats. So it was actually really nice to get that and kind of go through and read all those different things. So that was, how many people liked it and, all that different stuff. And like I said before, we went a couple of years and we didn't even have the comments turned on. We didn't even know what we were doing at the beginning. So that's always
I know we were, how not to do YouTube and still get seen. But anyway, so video is number one for 2021. If you aren't in the game, you really need to get in the game and up your game. If you are doing video, you need to up your game. Don't just rest on what you've been doing. Make sure that your videos are going to the right people with the right message and look the right side. Fine tune your video. That's a good one. 2021, fine tune. So what else? What else would we be thinking about?
So the next thing is that it's so important to have that call to action. I always tell everybody, begin with the end in mind. Every time you communicate with people, you have to figure out, what is my call to action? What's the next step that I want this person to take? So when we're talking about networking, if you go to a networking event, so first of all, you want to have a way to introduce yourself. And we talked about that last week, that it's like you want to have that short little nugget that you are just really comfortable saying in a networking event. But you also have to, what's the next step for somebody to get to know, like, and trust you? Because it's not always going to be buy my stuff. As a matter of fact, most of the time it's not about buy my stuff. It's about relationship marketing. So you have to kind of, think of it as if you're like dating someone. You don't just ask them to marry you. You have to kind of court them a little bit. You have to get to know them. So, one great thing is to kind of think about, how could you feed them? Like, I was talking with somebody the other day, and they said that they make a practice of, when they make new connections on LinkedIn, they send them LinkedIn posts that they feel would be relevant, of like, hey, I don't know if you are connected with this person or following this person, but I saw this post and I thought of you. But they don't send their own post. They send somebody else's post, because that's not salesy. That's educational. That's a really great way to just kind of, have a little next step for somebody. So anyways, knowing your call to actions, knowing what's the free stuff you can give people. Do you have PDFs? Do you have, maybe you have a newsletter that's really informative and you want people to see your newsletter. So maybe you have some articles that's like your key thought leadership piece that you'd like to pass on to people. Think about those calls to action. If you have a podcast, are you telling people about your podcast? If you're in a networking event and you have a podcast, that should be like the number one thing that you talk about. And yet I know lots of people with podcasts that never bring it up. It's like,
right.
You need to do that. You need to do that. Same with, if you have a book, you want to push people towards your book. You might have chapters that you could send people that, on my website, I have like a look inside and I have some of my sample chapters, or I'm reading my chapters and you can listen in on my, SoundCloud or something like that. So always be thinking of those calls to actions as if you have like a bunch of little buttons, and it's like they're doors. So it's like, this one sends people here, this one sends people there. So I think those call to actions are really, really important.
Okay. Agreed. So what else?
Okay, so then the last thing, because we kind of like the magic of three. So we talked about video, we talked about call to action. So the third thing is when you are networking, especially in terms of being in this virtual world and networking virtually, is figure out what is the way that you want people to connect with you. Do you want them to connect with you on LinkedIn? Do you want them to connect with you via email? Do you want them to connect with you by going to your website? You have to always think about, if you're on these networking events, how are people going to know to be with you the next time? And I always actually suggest to people, be proactive in terms of, be the one that's getting their information as opposed to hoping people get yours, because I think people get overwhelmed on these networking calls and they can't always, get everybody. So the more people you can note their contact information, the better, because then you're kind of more in the driver's seat than the
That's
passenger
brilliant.
seat.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. And then you can contact them after the fact rather than sitting there crying because nobody contacted you. So
Yes.
save that chat box. Save that chat box. Ask people, how do I reach you? If they, yes. And then make a habit of afterwards going in and then sending them a, connect with me or an email or something that says, hey, it was really nice connecting with you on this Zoom meeting or Google
and
Meetup or
reference it
whatever.
and
Yeah,
reference it,
reference the name of it.
because otherwise people are just like, how'd you get me? Did you just dig me up somewhere? You're just like, I'm just floating around the internet somewhere and you saw me? Or did you like, oh, I purposely met you at this event, so you wanted, and you need to be timely. It's like, you don't go to a networking meeting on Monday and wait till the following week to, connect with people. It's like, do it in the moment. Do it now.
Right.
Take action.
Yeah.
It's so
Do it
important.
when all of that is fresh in their mind, and you could maybe even reference something that was discussed, because a lot of these virtual meetups now have a guest speaker, and maybe there was something that was spoken in the event that you'd like to have a dialogue about, and that would be a great way to start communicating with somebody. Say, hey, what did you think about this, and do you agree with him or her, and what do you think? And now you're starting a dialogue that's got nothing to do with like, hey, come buy my stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. Actually, we should take a time out because I noticed we have some comments and I've
Oh,
been terrible at this. So let me hop on the comments. Okay. So let's see if I can figure it out. Okay,
oh.
Jeff. Yay. Okay. So Jeff Young writes, hi, Janet. Hi, Gillian and Janet. Nice to see you live. Are you monitoring comments? No, we're not. We're doing terribly. Okay, namaste, network, and make all sorts of terrific energy. The LinkedIn guru. Isn't it awesome that we have Jeff? You haven't met Jeff yet, have you? We have to
No,
make sure that
no,
you
no.
you meet him. So thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Okay, so we have the next one is
Thanks, Skippy Jillian. Giving your network content ideas, info they want, seek, and enjoy. Absolutely. We don't know who it
absolutely.
is, but somebody's invisible. But
Yes,
we're
yes.
happy for that comment. Thank you very much. You're right.
Yeah, that's absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so we have another one. Another idea of connecting, Jillian, is to connect on multiple channels. LinkedIn, email, phone, Instagram, Facebook, Quora. Quora, that's an interesting one. I don't really ever think about Quora, but I think that's actually quite true. Not Tinder, though.
Right, right. Well, and I don't know who this is, but I would have probably an issue with this. And that is, I often get that people will say, like in a virtual event, and they put in their LinkedIn or their Twitter handler or whatever else it is. But the thing is, if I'm not participating in those social media platforms, now I'm not on Instagram. Well, I can't be on Instagram because somebody hijacked mine. So somebody in Russia has my Instagram account. So I cannot connect with anybody on Instagram right now. So that would be a dead lead for me. So it would be really good if we had some other way, like a business hub or something where I could connect with all my social media platforms, and then they could connect with me where we maybe have a common bond, because you can't put all of them in there in the chat box. So you're only going to pick in one. So maybe LinkedIn is going to be number one for us, but it might not be number one for somebody else. So
That's
good
true.
idea, but that's too many choices. It would be nice
That's
if there was
true.
one. It would be nice if there was just one place.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so we have another one. We have actually quite a few more comments. Okay, Jeff Young, whoo, whoo. Good to see you out here, buddy. So I don't know why we're getting all these blank heads. Thank goodness they're nice blank heads, though. So, because it would
Right.
be like, you know, because
As long as
my
it's not that my Instagram in Russia.
well, and why do you
So
think
far, they
why?
haven't touched my LinkedIn.
Oh, it's Teddy.
Oh,
Teddy.
hi,
Oh,
Teddy. How
Teddy.
are you?
And actually, it's really awesome. First of all, we're such big fans of Teddy
Yeah,
because he is a LinkedIn, one of the LinkedIn gods, the
yeah,
influencer. He
gurus.
knows,
Yeah.
so he's the guru. But we have to call Jeff the LinkedIn guru,
Oh,
so we
right,
can't
right,
call
right.
that. We can't call Teddy that.
And
But
we met Teddy back when there was another social media platform that doesn't exist anymore.
what was this like? Was it like called Periscope or something? It was
Remember,
something
it was like 4 people in a little meeting, a meeting up. Maybe Teddy, maybe you remember it, and you can tell us, put it
yeah.
in the chat box and tell us what it was, the
But
comments.
it was an awesome way to
Wasn't
connect.
it start with a B?
Uh, I
B.
thought it was Periscope or something. I
No, it
thought it.
wasn't Periscope. No, it wasn't Periscope. But anyways, moving along. But
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it's
Okay.
gone now. So there you go. There's an example that if we'd all connected through that social media platform, forget that. And then of course, the Google Plus is gone.
Exactly. But we got to know Teddy because he was putting himself out there on live video. So
Yeah.
if he hadn't done that, he never would have been on our radar screen. So again, it just goes to show you that's how you got to be seen. You got to be
Yeah.
seen. So, okay, we got another one from Jeff. He goes, laugh out loud. You're welcome for the wake up call. Let's you, Janet, not to assume sometime. We will definitely do that. Okay, we have Blab. Blab.
Blab. See, I said it started with a B. Blab. Yeah, that was right. Because remember, we would go in and join those groups.
That's
I
right.
actually kind of liked it. I was kind of sorry that disappeared. I thought that
Yeah,
was
because
very cool.
it had all the little hearts, and it was,
Yeah, but
and
you
there
could
was.
just join in and start having conversations with people. And quite frankly, this year it would have been awesome, so that when you got lonely, you could just go join a group.
It's like
You
you
could
can
go make
blab
new
away.
friends. Yeah,
Go
blab
blab away.
away.
Okay. Oh, and we've got Curtis. Curtis has been my inspiration for all my little Hanukkah posts for the last week, because he was the guy that stood out of the crowd and said, hey, well, I did my first little Hanukkah video, and he said, hey, could you, do one of these every day? And I have. So he says, thank you for the reminders of basics. I sometimes forget about. That was really great. Okay. So, and Jeff is back again. That was Teddy Burris again.
Being invisible.
So I guess that's probably something for the LinkedIn guru to figure out. Why is Teddy blank? Teddy is the LinkedIn god. Why is he blank? It's like, that doesn't make any sense. So I don't know why that would be. So that's kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting. So one of the things that we did want to tell anybody that was listening today was we do have a tool that we recommend that is new that we're helping promote right now. And it's free. We can't really talk about it. We can't, because you're not supposed to be using a LinkedIn Live to do any kind of promotional thing. And we want to totally abide by that. However, this is free. So it's in beta, it's free, it doesn't cost anything. Just go to letsconnect.me and you can see it. And it is.
Well, can we just give them a hint that it
Yeah.
Remember that problem that I said, which social media platform to put in your chat box? We got the solution.
True.
We got the solution. And how to do videos and this and all sorts of other good things. So you got to go check out letsconnect.me.
Even just to watch, even just to watch my awesome video I did, because I did an awesome video that kind of explains, you know, what it's about, how it works. But as Janet said, it allows you to put a video on it. It's a digital, it's more than a digital business card. It's a digital business hub, because it allows you to have a video, all your call to actions, a QR code. People can scan it in. You could put it on your background like this and overlay your Zoom virtual backgrounds, all sorts of different things. So it's kind of cool. Right now it's in beta. It's going to be in beta till, you know,
March sometime. Yeah, I say April Fool's Day.
Yeah. So it's one of yeah. It's
well, and the other thing is we should say who it's for. So it's for entrepreneurs. It's for job seekers. It's for companies with employees. Like there's so many people that it's good for, and it's really good for anybody right now who speaks English. I suppose we can translate it.
And it's good for job seekers, because you could put.
I did say that. I did say that, Gillian. I did say job seekers.
I didn't hear the job
You didn't
seekers.
hear that, but I did say job seekers.
Okay.
Right. So entrepreneurs, job seekers, corporate people, nonprofit people, you name it. If you're in business, it's a card for you.
Okay, so it's letsconnect.b. No, it's let's see if I can bring up the
letsconnect.me, M-E.
Yeah.
Mary. Yeah. Elephant.
Yeah, I should have made the banner. That was not good. See, I didn't want to be salesy. So yeah, I wish I could just like shoot something across the screen, but it's letsconnect.me. As a matter of fact, I wonder if I could just hop out for a second and maybe I could share my screen and just see if this works. So I'll just go. Let's see.
Can you bring up your QR code?
I'm thinking I might be able to just do that. Okay, so see if I can bring up Chrome tab and share my screen. Okay, so do you see it?
Yes, I see it.
Okay. So just to show you, so here it is. So everybody gets their own personal URL. Yeah, comes with a cute little intro video. But as you can see, it's got your phone number, your email address, your website, where you're based. You can have a personal video. Here's all the social media icons. You can have tons. And then here, you can put anything, book a free consult, join my newsletter. Here's my website, call now, add to your contacts. And that's what's kind of cool, is that it can add to people's contacts. But this is the coolest thing, is that if you want to share your page with somebody, they literally just take their phone and point their camera at this QR code, and that's it. It pulls up your card, which is kind of cool.
They could do it right now, Gillian, if they really wanted to.
Yes, they could. You can pause the video, point your phone right at that QR code, and it will pull up my page right here. Yeah. And if you're interested in checking this out, here's the website, letsconnect.me. Oh, why'd it go there? There we go, letsconnect.me. And then you can see everything. You have to go just to watch my cool little explainer video, because I really do good explainer.
You're very good at making these little videos.
Yes. And you can kind of go through, check it all out, tells you all about it. You can kind of see, it looks good on a phone, it looks good on a computer, a tablet, all sorts of different things. So anyways, go check it out. All the plans are free right now. Everything, nothing to pay. Just go check it out. Nothing to buy here. Nothing to buy. So I'll come back here and I'll stop sharing. And now hopefully we're back. So that's how that worked. Okay, so let me go back to the comments and I'll hide that. Oh, we've got something from Angus. There we go. good to plan. He's so true. He's another LinkedIn god is Angus is the LinkedIn unlocker. Angus is the one that sent me that postcard all the way from England to Israel. The postcard took months to get here, but he sent that postcard and it was awesome. And he's an awesome person. And as a matter of fact, getting with all these LinkedIn gods is another thing that people should be doing, to prepare for 2021, because LinkedIn is the place to be. So you want to get with these guys, get that profile up to snuff, learn how to use LinkedIn. LinkedIn, there's a question, I think it was Angus the other day. It was Angus, and he posted this LinkedIn post about how long have you been on LinkedIn? And it was ridiculous to try and figure out how to actually find that out. It was like you couldn't do it unless you followed Angus's instructions. But there's a difference between being on LinkedIn and being on LinkedIn. Like, are you using it effectively, or do you just have a LinkedIn? Oh, I'm on LinkedIn, but I never use it. Well, then it doesn't do anything for you. You have to know how to do LinkedIn right. So there we go. And
aha, Leslie, you got it right.
Leslie, she got it. She's got it. Awesome. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce.
I wonder if the fact we don't see their heads is maybe they touch something that makes them anonymous.
Well, it could be that some folks, if you're not connected to them, like part of your privacy settings could be that, like, if you're not connected to them, you don't see their profile picture. So I know I personally have my profile picture to view for the world. So I have it public to everybody, but some people make their profile heads, their what is it called? Your headshot. Your headshot is only visible to my connections. So that
I didn't even know that. I'll have to go in and check that box. I don't know what mine is set at.
Yeah, well, you probably got to be with these. Oh, here we go. Okay, so Jeff,
Teddy, check your settings. See, this has been very educational for Teddy today. Thank you, Jeff.
That's good. That's good. Well,
All
is there
right.
any more we want to say, or we think we kind of nailed it today?
Well, if you summarized for 2021, you said make sure your videos are where you want them to be. So if you're not where you want them to be, maybe you need to do some more studying and getting more tutored or practicing more, getting the right programs. I mean, really, that helps. And because they can make it easy for you. And sometimes free is not best. Sometimes you got to make the plunge and buy a few programs that actually give you all the features you want. So if you're going to be doing it serious, you need to do that. And then number 2, you said have a good call to action.
And always begin with that. Think about that. Even when you're writing a LinkedIn post, think about what's the call to action? Why am I even doing this? And sometimes it can just be about, I just want to have engagement. I just want to put something fun out there. It doesn't always have to be about your business. Sometimes, like my Hanukkah stuff this last week, it has nothing to do with my business. There's no call to action. There's no buy this at the end. It's just, I'm doing this because I think it's fun. It's educating.
People are getting to know you, and that's your call to action, is getting to know me. And maybe, oh, there you go, profile visibility. All right, Jeff has the key right there.
It'd be nice if we could pop that in yeah. That's interesting. It's too bad you can't make that like a link or something people could click on.
Maybe we can go back in afterwards and create a post with that, and then put it in there. And then number 3 was having people find you. Right? Was that our number 3, which we said?
Yeah. Number 3 was telling people the best way to connect with you. How do you want to be reached? And, and we talked about last time about it's awful when you give somebody, 6 different ways to contact you, even though maybe those 6 different ways do work for you, people get into overwhelm. So that's why something like letsconnect.me is good, because if you have one URL, or
One
one
portal.
QR code. Yeah.
One
It's
portal.
your digital doorway. We love to call it your
Digital
digital
doorway. I
doorway.
love that. I love that. I love that. All right. Well, I guess we better wrap this up, but at least now we have some ideas for 2021 for our lives where we can be talking about different video strategies. We can take that workshop we're going to do on Thursday and break it down because we're not going to do it
Absolutely.
for 3 hours. Oh, it's a link in the real comments. You know,
Oh,
Jeff is good. Jeff is good. He's a good
so
friend,
good.
Jillian.
He's good. Well, we don't call him the LinkedIn guru for nothing, because he really does know his stuff. And he's rocking it with newsletters, by the way, which is like a new LinkedIn feature, is that you can actually have newsletters. And I'm terrible with numbers, but I think Jeff has thousands of subscribers, and he just started. Like, literally, it's an amazing tool.
Maybe one day we could ask him to come on our show. Maybe he would agree to it. Of course, I'm putting him on the spot right now. He might say, "No, I don't want. I don't want to do that."
I think we can bend his arm. I think we can bend his arm.
Bend his arm. That's the new touching, right? Bend his arm.
That's right.
I'd like to learn some of those tips.
Oh, they're great tips. It's amazing what he knows. It's just amazing what he knows. As is Angus and Teddy and all the other awesome people that just share so much.
Don't forget John Asperian.
Yes.
Your other buddy.
Yep. Lots of buddies. Lots of great buddies on LinkedIn. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. All right. Oh, we got you.
Oh, thank you, Jeff.
All right. That's good. All right. We're setting up a date. We'll be calling. We'll be in touch. We'll have our people call your people.
Let's connect, not me, you.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Well, we'll wrap it up now, and we'll see everybody back here this time next week. And thanks for popping by. Bye.
Bye, all.